All right. So once again, perhaps you're already subscribed to one or more of our copier services. Perhaps you are an onlooker checking things out. Maybe you're seeing this quite a bit of time from the time that we're recording it, but you're doing it to get some education. We want you to understand it as you undertake it, though the copier service is designed so that you don't have to, learn everything about trading and chart reading and what have you. I don't want you to be lazy. All right, meaning I want you to understand things as you undertake them. All right, so real quickly, our objective with our system is to show you a believable path to you becoming a Bitcoin millionaire in the next 3 to 5 years, no matter your current financial situation. Now, we happen to refer to this space, a lot of people refer to this entire space as cryptocurrencies. We refer to this space as Digi, short for digital assets or digital currencies. Remember, we're never going to physically hold these particular assets. As I'm doing this recording, there's well over 1,600 of these Digi assets in the marketplace now. All right, so we want to get you to becoming a Digi millionaire. I want to show you a believable path. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an update on the assets that we trade within the copy service. The copy service that I'm going to focus on is going to be the one where our main strategy is a trend trading strategy. Okay. All right. Now make sure that you clear off all distractions and that you're watching this on your best device. Okay. Let's go to work. Okay. All right. So now here's the thing that we have to have this honest discussion with you. How do we approach the markets when the markets go down? And in this marketplace, in this Digi marketplace, as I'm doing this recording, the overwhelming majority of the conversations is about what happens when the market goes up. And there's very little conversation. And even beyond the conversation, much trading strategy that deals with what happens when the market goes down. Now, oftentimes, the only strategy I hear is when the market goes down, buy more. A dollar cost average. If you bought an asset at $10 and now it goes down to $8, we'll buy some more at $8. And now your average cost is only $9. All right. If it goes down even further, buy some more at $7, buy some more at $6. And that can be viable if you've got the resources to buy more when the market goes down. But I'm not going to assume that you have those resources. Okay. I'm also not going to assume that you got into the market when prices were ridiculously low. Like, for instance, I got into Bitcoin when Bitcoin was going for $515 a Bitcoin. Well, we've seen it go to 20,000 since then. We've seen it come back down to the $6,000 level. But I'm not going to assume that you got Bitcoin at 515 like I did when I first got into the marketplace in 2014. Been trading since '99, stock market. Got into Forex in 2003, and have now really committed my time, my resources, my effort, my energy to trading in this marketplace, what we call the Digi marketplace. Real quickly, and then we'll get into our training. Well, this is part of our training. For my folks out there that love the buy and hold strategy, in this marketplace, they even spell it HODL. Some people call it hodl or hodl. Basically, it means, hey, just buy the asset and just hold on to it. Because in a few years' time, no telling where that asset's going to be. And that's true. So the buy and hold strategy, all right, is a viable strategy if you're looking at a longer term horizon. January 1, 2017 to December 31, 2017, if you bought Bitcoin at 963, on January 1, held on to it through the ups and the downs. By the end of the year, it was at 13,000. You would have been up 1,268%. Essentially, that's 12.68 times your money. So $1,000 invested in Bitcoin would have profited in 2017 $12,675 and some change. Okay, and it's not just Bitcoin. Ethereum you could have bought at 826 on January 1. If you had held on to it through the end of the year, you'd be up 8,637%, or 86 times your money. All right, so $1,000 invested in Ethereum by year's end would have been would have profited $86,000. So there are folks in this marketplace that say, hey, just hodl or hodl or hold, okay? And even through the market turmoil, you'll be okay. And in many cases, they're right with that longer term horizon. Now, we're not looking for a get rich quick fix either. All right, I want us to understand that. However, we're not going to assume that everybody got into Ethereum at $8.26, or that everybody got into Bitcoin when it was going for under 1,000, because a lot of people got into these assets when they were riding high, because that's when they started to capture the fancy of the mass media. I didn't hear the mass media talking much about Bitcoin when Bitcoin was at $1,000, but I saw a lot of reports on CNBC and other financial news channels about Bitcoin when Bitcoin was riding high at 20,000. Okay, all right. So now, real quickly, and again, what we're going to do is we're going to give you an update on our current assets, current trading that we're doing. All right. So real quickly, let me not assume that you understand our strategy. We are employing a trend trading strategy. This is a strategy that I really fell in love with in trading the Forex, which we still do, okay, in trading the Forex. By the way, real quickly, when you're looking at any of our charts here, these are Forex charts, but on certain Digi assets like Bitcoin trading against the US dollar. Now, we're going to actually trade Bitcoin against the US dollar, USDT, which is called Tether, which is a Digi asset, but it's pegged to the US dollar. Now, how does this work? All right, so what we're looking for is a sea change in the trend. So obviously, there was this downtrend here. There was this downtrend, okay? There was this downtrend. Now, what our systems are going to do, all right, and we've got a lot of indicators working behind the scenes that we're never going to share, that's our secret sauce, is when there is a sea change in the trend, all right, our system is going to fire buy or sell signals. Now, when it fires a buy signal, all right, we're going to enter that transaction. All right, in this case, Bitcoin on February the 12th, we got a buy signal at roughly 8,800. We get into Bitcoin at that time. All right, now, unlike my whole my buy-in holders, okay, we are going to ride the wave. We're going to ride the trend as long as the trend is going in our direction. But as soon as we start to see that the trend is going opposite of where we have been, all right, we're going to get out of the market. We're not going to panic sell. We're not going to panic sell, but we're going to move over to the sidelines and wait for the market to give us a new buy signal. So in this case, we got a buy signal. We got a sell signal here. So we're not just holding on for dear life here. We're not just holding on and see what the end is going to be. Once our systems give us a sell signal, we're going to move over to cash or a cash equivalent like Tether. USDT is referred to as Tether. Okay. All right. So in this example, we would have only been in this trade for 10 days. All right. We're not looking for a 2% return or 3% return. If that's what we get, that's what we get. We're going to take what the market gives us. All right. But we got into the trade on February the 12th. All right. We got out on February the 22nd, 15.9% return. Okay. And while to us, the return is gravy on top. Here is the core of the strategy. It is to defend our Digi value. Because you'll notice that once we got out of the trade, now the market actually went against us, all right? It wasn't hurting us because we were sitting over in cash. We just weren't getting that capital appreciation, all right? But then ultimately the market did what our systems predicted that they would do, is that the market went down. And so the market got creamed, and here's the key, we were out of the market. So all of this carnage, we missed. All of this carnage, we missed, all right? And from the time that we actually got out at 10,200 to its lowest point, all right, the market came down over 37%. And we missed seeing our value shrink by 37%. That's the key. We get back in when we get a buy signal, 83.32 on April the 19th. We get back out, all right, when we get a sell signal, which we did just a few days later on May the 7th at 93.92, got a 12.7% return in 18 days. So again, what I really want you to get, number one, even beyond the returns, is I want you to get that this strategy is designed to defend your Digi value first. That's our number one priority. 3 rules of trading. Trading rule number 1, do not lose money. Trading rule number 2, doggone it, you work way too hard for your money. You better not lose that money. And then rule number 3, now that we're not losing money, let's look to make money. Now that obviously isn't to suggest that we're not going to take losing trades. We will, I promise you. I'm going to show you one. But it is to suggest that we want to defend our Digi value first and foremost. Okay, so while we can get excited about a 10-day return of 15.9% or an 18-day return of 12.7%, what I really want us to focus in on with this strategy, all right, we call this strategy, we initially started to call it our steel curtain strategy. I'm a huge NFL football fan. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And growing up in the 70s, they referred to our defense as the steel curtain. All right, so we're defending our Digi value. We applied this strategy to Bitcoin and to Ethereum. We now have expanded that to other assets. So our steel curtain strategy has been expanded to our trend trading strategy, or sometimes I'll refer to it as TTS, all right, trend trading strategy. Okay, so the bottom line is we've got in the background, we've got a bunch of indicators, all right, and we've got a whole trading system that's centered around trends and spotting when there is a sea change in the trend. When we get a buy signal, we buy. When we get a sell signal, we sell. All right. If that buy sell cycle was profitable, we collect our profits. Sometimes we're going to have some unprofitable trades. Those will happen. All right. What I want to do real quickly, all right, is we're adding a new asset that we're going to be trading with this strategy inside of our computer system, because the exchange, Binance, that we're using has just added a new asset that we can trade. All right, so we've got Bitcoin trading against USDT, against Tether. We've got Ethereum trading against Tether. We've got Litecoin. We've got Ripple. We've got Neo. We've got Bitcoin Cash. And depending on what exchange you're using, Bitcoin Cash may be rendered as BCH and not just BCC. But in Binance is BCC. And our newcomer, and welcome EOS, is EOS, and I don't know why that was a mess up. Didn't mean to have that right there. All right, so matter of fact, let me just go on and fix that real quickly. All right, now what I'm going to do is I want to show you why this strategy is so needed in the marketplace. To my knowledge, we're the only system that deals with the computer that's trading this strategy, and I don't see anybody else teaching this strategy. Okay, not to say that there isn't somebody out there doing that. I just haven't seen it. All right, so here we go. Our last buy-sell cycle, okay, ended around May the 7th, 2018. Okay, so we're going to go through the assets that we trade. Now, EOS, the last one that we're just welcoming to our family, we were not trading in this strategy at the time because it was not trading with Binance against USDT. EOS, you could have traded against Bitcoin or Ethereum, but not against USDT. All right, so previously, we had a buy on Ripple, XRP, at 54 cents, and we sold it on May the 7th at 83 cents. Now, that represented a 53.7% return for 34 days. So we're not looking to dink and dunk here. We're not looking to get 1% or 2% or 3%. A lot of the trading bots out there, they're dinking and dunking. And I'm not ever going to poop on other strategies or what have you. All right. There's a place for that type of strategy. All right. That's just not the strategy that we're employing in this particular copy of service. All right. Now, so 53.7% in 34 days. Now, that's exciting. But here's what I want us to see, all right, is that we sold on May the 7th at 83 cents. Now, as I'm doing this recording, I want you to see when I'm doing this. And it doesn't matter when you're seeing this because the concept remains the same. All right. So I want you to see I'm doing this recording on May the 29th. So it's been 22 days since we have been in Ripple. Now, one of the things I need you to understand if you're going to be a client of our CompUSer service is that we're looking for quality trades, not quantity, okay? we're going to be out of the market just as much as we are in the market. Okay, we're going to be out of all positions just as much as we are in positions. Okay, all right. Now let's see what's happened since we sold at 83 cents. So I'm going to go to Binance because that's first off. Let's give you a graphical representation. All right, let's take you to the Forex market where Ripple trades against the US dollar. And we got out on May the 7th, and that is right here. And we got out at 83 cents. Now, I want you to see just from a graphical picture, each one of these candles represents one trading day. The red candles are days when the market was down for that trading day. And the blue candle, the market was up for that trading day. Okay, so you can see that we got out on this. This was our signal candle. All right, meaning that's when our system fired a signal and said, hey, get the heck out of Dodge. We got out at 83 cents. And you can see the market has gone down for the most part since then. There were a couple times when the market rebounded, all right, went back down and rebounded and went back down and rebounded. Right now, the market's had a decent day right now. But you can see that since May the 7th, what's happened? The market's come down. Now, had we just been buyers and holders, then we would have lost all of this Digi value. Now, might it come back? Sure. All right. But here's the thing. If I'm going to show you the difference in our trading system and our trading plan, and if you were just in the buy and hold mode. So I'll show you that in just a few moments. Okay. All right. So now let's go to Binance. All right. Let's look at XRP trading against USDT right here, and this is subject to change. But I'm gonna see how that changed. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the prices. I'm just gonna round the prices at 59 cents. So here we go. All right, so you see that? All right, 59 cents, 0.594. I'm gonna round that down right now to 0.59. If it had been 0.595, I would have rounded it up to 60 cents. All right, so let's put this on our whiteboard. So we sold XRP, all right, Ripple, all right, sold at 83 cents, okay, and it's currently trading for I gotta now bring it up. All right, let's call it 60 cents. All right, it's trading for 60 cents. It's going back and forth, oscillating back and forth. Okay, currently trading for 60 cents. Okay, now here's what I want us to see. This is going to be very, very important here. All right, so she is down 23 cents. 83 minus 60. She's down 23 cents from when we originally sold her on May the 7th. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring up our calculator, and we want to see just how much value we've been able to save, we've been able to retain. Now remember, from our buy and sell, 54 cents to 83 cents, we locked in a 53.7% profit. We locked in a 53.7% profit, all right? But we don't just focus on the profits. We also focus on how much Digi value did we preserve when the markets went down. That's a discussion that I don't see other trading systems having. That's a discussion I don't see other trading educators having. Okay, that is our primary discussion, is what happens when the market goes down, because we know the market can go up and you can make a ton of money as the market goes up. So if we can deal with the down markets, all right, and we can have a strategy for dealing with what the heck happens when the market goes down, then that's going to help really grow our portfolios longer term. All right, so 23 cents. We're going to divide the 23 cents. That's the difference between what we sold it for and what it's currently going for now, okay? And we're going to divide that by the amount that we sold it for. This is going to tell us how much she's come down, okay? So she's down 27%. Ripple is down 27% right now, okay? It's been down a lot more than that before today's nice upswing. So 27.7%. All right, and I'm going to also put this here. So she's down 27.7%. So I'm going to still use 0.277 there. You'll see why in just a few moments. All right, let's look at I think Neo is next. Okay, so we sold Neo. So let's go back here. We sold Neo. Bear with me. All right, so Neo was very interesting. We had a buy signal on Neo at 84.50 on May the 2nd. And we actually took a loss because a few days later, we got a sell signal at $80.07. We lost about 5% on that part of that Neo trade. Now, previously, we had a buy signal on Neo at $49, sold it at $70. That was about a 43% return, I believe. All right. Now, when we get a sell signal, ladies and gentlemen, even if we're not profitable, we're going to be looking to sell. All right. Because our system is telling us the market is more likely to go down for the foreseeable future than it is to go up. And because of the volatility in this marketplace, we just don't know what down means. You know, down could mean 10% down, 20% down, 50% down. We just don't know. And so we want to sidestep any potential carnage. All right, so $80.07. All right. All right, so she sold for $80.07. Let's look at Neo graphically. Okay, it's going to look like the same chart, right? But you can see here, this is Neo trading against the US dollar. Let's find May the 7th. All right, that's when we sold out of Neo. Also, you're going to notice that in many cases, we're going to be in these assets close to the same time. And then we're going to be out of these assets close to the same time. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Bitcoin and Ethereum tend to lift the boats and sink the boats. When Bitcoin is going up, Ethereum is going up, you'll tend to see the markets rising. When Bitcoin is going down, Ethereum is going down, you'll see the markets going down. Okay? All right, so this was this candle here, and you can see graphically what has she done. You know, she had a little rise here, but for the most part, you know, if we had gotten a buy signal here, we would have gotten back in the market. Did not get a buy signal. There wasn't enough conviction. There wasn't enough going on with our proprietary indicators to say get into the market. All right. Once again, market is up today, so she's up today. But overall, since May the 7th, she's been doing nothing but you know, coming down with a few exceptions. All right. Now, what does that mean? $80.07. Now let's go over here and let's find Neo at 51. Let's call it 83. Neo's trading at 51.83. Let's put this on our board here. Give me a moment. So she's trading for 51.83. All right. Now, what does that mean in terms of how far is she down from when we got out? So we're saving ourselves this carnage. All right, so we sold her at 80.07. Right now she's going for 51.83. All right, so she's lost $28.24 worth of value. We're going to take the amount that she's down and divide that by our sale price of $80.07. Wow, she's down a whopping 35.27%. All right, so she's down a whopping 3,527. This is going to be important in just a few moments, okay? All right. All right, our third asset. Let's see who's next on the board. Litecoin. Now, you might be saying, well, this says fourth asset. Well, I'm going to come back to Bitcoin in just a few moments. So Bitcoin was the first asset on this particular document. This was some training that we were doing for our audience previously. And so I'm using that training for this training as well. All right, so we're going to go and we're going to take a look at Litecoin. We sold Litecoin. All right, so our last buy-sell cycle, meaning we bought it and we sold it. We bought it for 133 on April the 3rd. We sold it for 159.12 on May the 9th. 19.64% return for a month and 6 days. All right, so we're going to be looking at the sell price on May 9th of 159.12. Let's look at her graphically. Let's blow this up a little bit. May the 9th was right here. Here was May the 9th. This is when our system issued the signal. So we get out of her, and you can see she starts to go down. She came back up. We saw the same thing with Neo. So a lot of times you'll see similar action. You saw it go down, and you see this is where she is now. She's having a really nice day today as the markets are up today. Now, whether or not the markets will continue to go up, we don't know. All right. This may be setting us up for a buy. Right now, we're in a sell cycle, meaning we're not in Litecoin. We haven't been in Litecoin since we got out at 159.12. Well, what's Litecoin going for right now? 120.50. All right, 120.50. All right, so I'm just going to put the trading symbol sold at 159.12, and she's currently trading for 120.20. Okay, so you know what we're going to do now. Okay, so what is she down? Let's see. Calculator. 159.12. We saw she's currently at 120.20. She's down $38.92. We take that amount, we divide it by where we sold her at 159.12. This tells us how far down she is currently. She's down 24. I'm going to say 24.5%. All right. By the way, if you don't remember all this from arithmetic or from school, we're moving our decimal two places to the right. Two places to the right to determine the actual percentage. But I'm also rounding up or down. So I'm going for nice round numbers. We're going to say she's down 0.245. That represents 24.5%. So you can see that we've saved 27%, a 27.7% downdraft on a Ripple, on Neo 35%, on Litecoin 24%. All right, these are going to be very important in just a few moments. Just a few more of these assets. So who's number 4? Ethereum. Okay, our last buy on Ethereum was at 490. We sold just under a month later at 737, a 50% return in 28 days. All right, but then we're out. All right, so let's go to Ethereum. And that was on, let's see, we sold her on May the 11th. She was one of our longest holdouts. All right, so let's go to Ethereum. All right, see, look at Ethereum. Here's an example, all right? What were we in right here? A clear sell trend. And then we got a buy trend. All right, so our systems before the sell trend would have fired a sell signal, and we would have missed all this carnage. We would have missed this, okay? Then our systems gave us a buy signal on, I think it was the 13th. Give me a moment. Yeah, on the 13th at 490. All right, so right here. All right, so notice we're not trying to time the markets. We're not trying to get it right at the bottom. Our systems are going to wait for confirmation. So we're not going to get out at the bottom, and we're not going to get out at the top. All right, so this was our signal candle for us to get back into the markets at 490. We rolled it all the way up. At its height, it got up to 837. We didn't get out at 837 because our signal system did not tell us to get out. It told us to get out probably right about here. Yep, May the 11th. All right, and we got out at 737 is when we got out, okay? And so you can see since we got out, what's happened. It kind of, it stayed the course as long as it could, and then boom, then it fell, and it fell out a bit. All right, so where's she right now? All right, so let's put this on. So on Ethereum, All right, so on Ethereum, we sold at 737. It is currently trading for, in Binance, I see ETH at 558.03. So we've missed all that carnage. We've missed that. We're over to the sidelines with our profit, with our 50%, I think it was 50.4% profit. All right, we were able to secure that profit, and now we're just waiting for a new buy signal. So we don't care how far down she goes. As a matter of fact, we want her to go down even further, burn, baby, burn, because that's going to allow us to ultimately buy her cheaper. Now, we're not going to force that to happen. We're just going to let the market, dictate what's happening. Do we buy? If so, we get in, we ride the trend. When the system tells us to sell, we sell. It's just that simple, okay? Now, obviously, I say it's just that simple. It would be difficult for Joe and Susie Average that are not traders. And even if you were a trader, if you have never traded, and I'm not going to share our secret sauce. You know, it'd be like McDonald's telling you, what's in their sauce. This is our secret sauce. All right, so 737. We're going to subtract out the 558.03, what she's going for now. So she's down $178.97 per ETH. All right, that means she's down 24.28%. So 0.2428 is what we'll use. 0.2428. Let's do this next one. I think is Bitcoin Cash. Yep, Bitcoin Cash. Okay, last buy was on April the 12th at 709. Last sell was on May the 11th. 99.29% return for 29 days. We'll take that all day long. Let's look at Bitcoin Cash. And again, that sell was on May the 11th. She was our last holdout. She and Ethereum were our last holdouts. Let's see, is this May the 11th? Yeah, this is May the 11th right here. Okay, so we sold her for $14.13. Bitcoin Cash. In some exchanges, she trades as BCH. In Binance, which is what we're using for our copier system, she trades as BCC against USDT. Okay, so we sold her for $14.13. And she's currently trading for, so let's make sure you got that graphical look, okay? Right here, all right? And you can see, she went up for a couple days after our sell, but then she got beaten down. Really nice day here, then she got beaten down. So we don't know if she's going to continue to go back up, or is this just a little breather? What was this? She got beaten down here. She took a little breather, came back up, couldn't sustain it, got beaten down again. Here was a breather, couldn't sustain it, got beaten down again, so on and so forth. All right, so where is she now? She's at 978.45. 978.45. Okay, so 978.45. All right, so we know she's down. All right, so we're going to take the 14.13, subtract out the 978.45. She's down. She's down $434.55. All right, we divide that by the 14.13 we sold her for. She's down 30%, 30.75. All right, 0.3075. 0.3075. All right, and then the last one we're going to look at is going to be Bitcoin itself. And the reason I'm looking at this last is because we actually got a buy signal on Bitcoin, on BTC. Okay, and Bitcoin's been we got a buy signal on this as I'm doing this recording it's about a week and a half or so. And so while we did do a buy, because the markets overall were weak, we did not go in with our full weight, meaning we've got money management, don't have time to cover that in this training. But we only did about a half of our allotment in the trade. We then actually paired off some of that as the markets were continuing to go down, so as to pair some of our losses. And so our last buy signal, go all the way back up here now. All right, so we did a buy at 83.32 on April the 19th. We sold May 7th at 93.92. Okay, now we recently got a buy, and we got back in at 8,200, 82.77 to be exact. But we did not get in with everything, and we've seen the market come down, and we paired some of those losses. All right, so in any event, let's do this based on the 93.92. Okay, and let's give you a graphical representation once again. All right, so on, give me a moment. On May the 7th, which is right here, okay? May the 7th, we sell out at 93.92. All right, market goes down, and this is when we actually got a new buy signal. And so we got back into the market. So the market from May the 7th had gotten beaten down to as low as 7,900. So we got out at 93.92. Came back up, and we got a new buy signal here, but it wasn't the strongest of signals in the fact that our other assets were not showing close to buy. So we did go in with half of an allotment, and you can see that that worked out good for us, that we didn't get into the entire trade because then the market got beaten down. Now again, Bitcoin is having a nice day so far. We'll see if she can sustain that. All right, so 93.92. Give me a moment. And right now she's trading for 74.18. So 93.92, and she's trading for 74.18. She's down $1,974 on a 93.92 sell. So she's down 21% from that last sell. But I'm not really including her right now in terms of everything I'm about to share, because we did get a buy, and we did do a partial buy. Okay, we did a partial buy on her. Now, here's what I want to do real quickly. I want to go back. All right, so I'm not going to include in my numbers here. I'm really just going to look at these 5 assets here. Okay, I'm going to look at these 5 assets here, because we're out of these 5 assets. All right, we have a very small position in Bitcoin, but very small, very small. Okay, now with that being said, when we first started with the copier, one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to provide an account that you could follow, an account that we funded. I call this the model account. And you can see here, we funded this with $10,075 worth of USDT or Tether. Now, our first transactions inside of this account was before the copier. We funded it with $10,075, took the $75 portion, and bought some Binance coin. In Binance, if you own Binance coin, that helps to reduce your trading fees. So we essentially had $10,000 worth of Tether, USDT, $75 worth of Binance coin, and you can see that our account balance was at roughly $10,075. Okay? Now, with that being said, I want to show you in a down market. Now, keep in mind, I'm cutting this on May the 29th. You saw that most of our transactions gave us sales between May the 7th and May the 11th. So we have been out of the market with an exception of a very small current position in Bitcoin. We have been out of the market, meaning we've been sitting over in a cash or a cash equivalent since somewhere between May the 7th and May the 11th. Okay, so you're going to have to be patient with this strategy. All right, so now I'm going to go live in the market. And I want you to see for yourself. Let me refresh the screen here. Okay, so $10,012.58 is the account value of the model account. So here's the deal. We have a master account. That's the account where we actually place the trades for the copier system. It's in the master account that the copier system says, okay, if we place a trade on Bitcoin or NEO or what have you, what percentage in the master account of the master account balance did we trade for that particular transaction, for the NEO trade, for the Litecoin trade, for the Bitcoin Cash trade. And then that copies into your account if you're attached to the copier system. So what we did is we're not going to show on screen the master account. We are going to show on screen the model account. So this would be like you having your own account. Now, obviously, you might have it funded with $100. You might have it funded with $100,000. Okay, it's the concept that I want you to get. So you can see here that currently of the $10,000, $10,012 in the account, $9,500 is on the sidelines. We have a little bit in Binance coin. All right, that was basically the $75 that we funded the account with $10,075. 75 of it was to buy Binance coin, and we currently have a very small position in Bitcoin. Okay, so here's what I want us to look at right now. I'm going to move my calculator over here now. We started off at $10,075. Okay. We have a current account value of $10,012.58. All right. So we're actually down slightly, $62.42. Okay. Now, so we're down $62.42 on what was an initial $10,075. All right, so we are down right now a whopping 0.00. So 0.01 would be 1%. We're down 0.006. We're down 0.6 of 1%. We're down 0.6 of 1%. Okay. So we're down 0.6. Give me a moment. We are down 0.6 of 1%. Defend your Digi value. The strategy, the steel curtain strategy, now expanded to the trend trading strategy with the other assets. The whole design of that strategy is to defend your Digi value. Okay, now I'm not going to go through all of our money management, all right, but what I am going to do is I'm going to say, what if you had that $10,075 dispersed amongst these assets, okay? Dispersed amongst these assets, all right? So real quickly, I said I wasn't going to give you our money management. What we do is in the master account, we are going to trade 80% of the master account is going to go amongst our assets, all right? The other 20% we'll use for trade adjustments. That's as much as I really have time to share. So that would have been $8,060, all right? And currently we were trading, before we added our new asset, we were trading 6 assets. So we would have taken $8,060 or the $10,075, and we would have traded them amongst 6 assets. So we would have had $1,343 in each of those assets. Now, I'm not going to look at the Bitcoin part right now because we are in that asset now, but I want to show you how much we would have saved you had you parked $1,343 into each of these 5 assets that are currently down. Okay, so this is very important for you to get. Excuse me for coughing in your ear. Okay, so on Neo, give me a moment. All right, so Neo is down 27.277. So let me show you what would have happened had you parked 1343. All right, so let me back up. Let me back up, make sure we're all clear. So we funded our model account with $10,075 worth of Tether. $75 of that went into Binance Coin. The other $10,000 of that was to be used to trade this strategy. Of that, we're taking 80% of that and we're dispersing that evenly as much as possible amongst these assets. All right? And so if we had done that, I'm not factoring in Bitcoin right now. All right? But had we done that, we would have had $1,343 in these assets. But these assets would have been down. And I want to show you where our Digi value is now versus where it could have been had we not been employing this strategy. Okay, that's what we're doing. All right, so we take this 13. Let's make sure I have that in my memory. Okay, so we take this 1343, multiply it, all right, times 0.277. All right, that's $372, but we would be down that. So we would be down $372 on the Ripple transaction. So now our value with Ripple would be $971.23. All right, so I'm going to put this on my whiteboard. If you're not with me yet, just stick with me. You'll be there. You'll see why I'm doing this. So stick with me. If you're not a math person, stick with me. All right. So our $1,300 and some odd dollars would now have a value with Ripple of $971.23 because it's down 27.7% from the time we sold it. Let's look at Neo. Okay. Let's look at Neo. All right. So Neo was down 0.3527, down 35.27%. Neo would be down 473.79. It would be down 473.79, and that would give us a value in Neo. Our $1,343 in Neo, if we were just buyers and holders, would be now $869. Let's call it 54. $869.54. Okay, our Litecoin is down 24.5%. Now, it's not bothering us because we're not in the market with Litecoin right now. But if you weren't following this strategy, whether it was through the copier or self-directed, if you weren't following this strategy and you had some Litecoin, you'd be down. Now, excuse me, let's do this. That's what we're doing. 24.5%. So Neo would be down $329. So your Neo position, I'm sorry, not Neo, Litecoin, excuse me. So Litecoin's value would be down to $1,014.22. Ethereum is down 24.28%. What is that? 2428.2428. Stick with me. If you're not much into math, just stick with me. All right, because this is going to be huge for you to understand this. All right, so you would have been down 326. So your Ethereum position of 1343 would be down to 1,017.17. Your Bitcoin Cash would be down a whopping 30.75%. I think it was 75. Yep. All right, so your Bitcoin Cash would be down. That value would be down $413. Your value would be worth $930 and roughly 26 cents. Now, I'd say Bitcoin for last. And let's just say, because this is a slightly different, let's say that you were still sitting at $1,343 in value in Bitcoin. That wouldn't necessarily be the case. This is going to actually make this look better than it is. Okay, 1343, 33. Okay. Okay. Now, here's what we know. We know that our model account, so if you have been with us from day one in the copier, all right, percentage-wise, you're going to be looking at roughly the same amount. So our model account is down 0.6% in a downdraft, in a major downdraft. Okay, let's see how that compares to if we weren't using this strategy. If we were saying, hey, let's just buy Bitcoin, let's just buy Ethereum, let's just buy these other assets and just hold on tight to them and see what's going to happen. Okay, well, what would have happened is this. Let's see how much we would be down. Okay, so I'm going to add all of this up. Okay, and I need to do this first before I add all that up. So we had $10,075. We have $75 of that in Bitcoin. I'm sorry, in Binance Coin. We would have taken, actually, we would have taken 80% of the entire amount and split them amongst these assets, and we would have had a little buffer. All right, so what we would have done, all right, is we would have had $8,060 that we would have had in these assets. $8,060 that we would have had in these assets. We would have divided that by 6, and we would have had. That's where we came up with 1343.33. So that would have left $2,000 still sitting in USDT for trade adjustment. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all this up. Okay. We're going to then add the $2,000 to it so we can see what our account value would be had we not employed our strategy. All right, so hope I didn't confuse you. So we're going to take the 971.23, add 869.54, add 1,014.22, add 1,017.17, add 930.26, add 1343.33. And I haven't really factored in really what the Bitcoin position would have been. Okay, so it's going to make this figure even bigger. We're going to add the $2,000 that would have been sitting for trade adjustments, and we're going to add the $75 that we put with Binance Coin. All right, to give us close to an apples-to-apples comparison as possible. All right, so now, had we not employed the strategies that we're employing, $10,075 would now have a value of roughly $82.20. Our $10,075 has a value of $10,012. So the difference in a value of $10,075 $12.58 in a down market, and $8,220.75. That's the difference in our strategy and not having our strategy. So real quickly, I just want to get a sense of what that difference is. I need to do this. Bear with me. That's a $1,791 difference. That's a $1,791 difference. Okay? And if we divide that, 10,000, did too much there. Hold on. That's right. That is a 17.8, almost an 18% difference in Digi value. Actually, I think I did that wrong. I think I should have divided that by the 8,200. I think I did that wrong. So I think I should be taking the 1791.83 and dividing that by 8,220.75, 21%. I think that's the correct number. So somewhere between a 17-18% difference and a 21-22% difference in Digi value. That's huge. That's huge because we've stayed out of the market during this downdraft. Because we've stayed out of the market during this downdraft. So I don't want you to get caught up on quantity of trades. I want you to get caught up on quality of trades. And staying out of the market is just as important as being in it. In other words, when we believe the market is likely to do one of these things, we want to be out, over to the sidelines, and then we will patiently await a new buy signal. I know that was a lot of numbers. I hope I didn't mess you up with numbers. What I wanted you to get is that you and I have to have a strategy for what happens when this happens. Because it's not just going to be mountain peak experiences. There's going to be plenty of valley low. With that being said, we love each and every one of you. There's probably a call to action button that's going to be popping up, depending on when and where you're seeing this. If you're seeing this on social media, like it, leave some sterling comments. If you're seeing this in maybe a follow-up series, there's probably a call to action button. Click on the call to action button and follow the action. We love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours. And let's get to the Digi, my gosh, millionaire stat.